20 minutes ago, within a black and spatial region of the great domain of alchemical spirits. Boom! The surging and towering imperial flame swept through the dark space. As the master of this space, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor stood in disbelief, his face filled with astonishment. He could hardly believe his eyes as he looked ahead. Within the fiery world filled with destructive waves, a dazzling fiery figure hovered in the air. It was Xiao Yan, who had unleashed the destruction flame physique. What shocked the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor even more was that, in the fiery region, thousands of enormous figures were standing behind Xiao Yan. These bird-like beasts and evil creatures were once under the emperor's control in this black box space, but now they were covered in surging imperial flames. From their eyes, a molten, blazing firestorm emanated. The bird-like creatures and evil beasts hovered behind Xiao Yan, and at that moment, Xiao Yan appeared as the king of beasts. With a single command, these creatures would die for him. Their fiery gazes were fixed on the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor ahead. Clearly, all these creatures had been brought under Xiao Yan's control. "This is really beyond my expectations," the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor said, his gaze turning serious. "You wouldn't intend to use these exotic beasts you've painstakingly controlled to fight me, would you?" "Using them against you would be of little consequence," Xiao Yan replied. With a wave of his hand, the thousands of bird-like creatures surged toward the black water ocean below. Their target was the evil creatures occupying the surface of the sea. The reason Xiao Yan could control these creatures was because he used a method similar to the demon fire space, creating illusions with fire to manipulate all creatures weaker than him. This technique seemed effective even on the creatures of the extraterritorial evil clan. However, the fire illusion Xiao Yan had created this time was much larger in scale than the previous demon fire space, covering an area of over 100,000 miles. "The little birds and beasts you raised are no longer of any use," Xiao Yan said, looking at the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor from a distance. So what? This is my domain." The evil-swallowing heavenly emperor sneered. Realizing that a direct confrontation with Xiao Yan would be futile, he immediately retreated toward the horizon. As he did so, his hand extended toward Xiao Yan, gripping the air before him. Boom! With the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's grip, the space around Xiao Yan collapsed violently, and the crumbling trend rapidly expanded. Within the collapsing space, torrents of overwhelming evil energy surged outward. The terrifying assault could easily trap even a heavenly supreme, and while it might not cause harm, it would certainly delay them. This was exactly what the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor intended, as he tried to escape by trapping Xiao Yan in the collapsing space. However, just as the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor was retreating, his pupils shrank. A ghostly figure had appeared before him, and to his shock, it was none other than Xiao Yan, who had been caught in the black torrent moments earlier. "Impossible. You clearly..." The evil-swallowing heavenly emperor stammered in disbelief. Before he could finish speaking, a sweeping strike from the eternal ruler came crashing down on his shoulder. Clang! The speed of the eternal ruler was so fast that it became a blade capable of cutting anything in its path. When it landed on the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor, it was like a chopstick gliding through a bowl of thin porridge, effortlessly severing the right half of his body. At the point of separation, the body was covered in vibrant imperial flames, which gnawed at the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's body like termites, continuously evaporating it. You bastard!" The evil-swallowing heavenly emperor, now missing a third of his body, went completely berserk. With a roar, the heavens and earth trembled as a tidal wave of demonic energy rushed toward him. As this terrifying force rapidly condensed into his hand, he launched a punch filled with world-destroying power directly at Xiao Yan. The two were too close, and when the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's furious punch came at him, Xiao Yan had no time to dodge. The punch, infused with immense evil power, struck Xiao Yan directly. The frenzied punch of the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor sent Xiao Yan flying tens of thousands of meters away. The terrifying force shattered the very space he passed through. However, Just as the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor's wild punch forced Xiao Yan back, a dazzling speck of light suddenly appeared in front of him, causing the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor's pupils to shrink once more. Under the astonished gaze of the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor, the tiny speck of light that radiated brilliant hues fully bloomed, unleashing a terrifying force that completely enveloped the unprepared evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor. The radiant light then swept through the entire black box space. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan, who had been sent flying by the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor's punch, steadied himself in midair. He looked ahead at the world enveloped in brilliant light, with waves of heat pouring out, distorting the surrounding space. As for the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor, who had been caught in the explosion, there was no way he could escape unscathed. Boom, boom. After about 10 breaths, the shockwaves and the deafening roar from the explosion reached Xiao Yan's position. At that moment, a massive fireball, over hundreds of thousands of meters in size, had formed in front of him. Yet, as the fireball expanded, Xiao Yan saw a massive crack opening up along its edge, ripped open by an overwhelming torrent of evil energy. Following that, an intensely wicked black energy surged out from the heart of the fireball. Xiao Yan's earlier sky speck attack had been enough to severely injure a lower heavenly supreme, but even with such a powerful blow, it had not dealt a fatal blow to the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor. This displayed just how incredibly resilient the life force of these extraterritorial evil beings was. In this regard, it was clear that the earlier strike from Taiping, which nearly obliterated half of a lower Heavenly Emperor's body, might have been the result of the Heavenly Axe's power. Despite seeing the massive surge of black evil energy spilling from the fireball, Xiao Yan's expression remained utterly calm. He was actually waiting for something to appear. Roar. Just as Xiao Yan focused on the evil energy pouring out of the fireball, a maddened roar echoed from within the flames. At the same time, a colossal black figure began to emerge from the raging inferno, growing larger by the moment. The black figure, emerging from the inferno, rapidly expanded. In just a few breaths, it reached a size of several 100,000 meters. When its size grew so large that it tore through the surrounding inferno, Xiao Yan finally saw what the figure was. It was a nearly million-meter-long black beast. Its body was round and stocky, supported by 6 legs, and atop its massive head, several 100,000 meters in size. There were no features like a nose or other organs. All that could be seen was a gigantic mouth, from which a torrent of black liquid poured forth. It resembled an evil beast capable of swallowing all things in the world, and this was the true form of the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor. It seems it still wasn't enough, Xiao Yan muttered with a sigh as he gazed at the monstrous creature that now dominated the heavens. His relentless assault on the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor wasn't to force out his true form, but to provoke something much more important. Roar. The monstrous evil-swallowing beast, now fully emerged from the inferno, exuded an aura of pure evil, its gaze devouring everything in its path. It then opened its massive mouth, and a terrifying, all-consuming force of suction spread across the sky. Under this horrifying power, the entire explosion area, formed by the earlier battle, was swallowed up in an instant. Even the surrounding space seemed on the verge of collapsing from the immense strain. SSHH. When the evil-swallowing beast devoured all of Xiao Yan's imperial flame, a wave of terrifying heat erupted from within its body. The heat transformed into white steam, spreading out over tens of thousands of miles. Clearly, the imperial flame was not something that could be easily consumed at will. It's happening faster than I expected. Seeing the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor's true form revealed, Xiao Yan's gaze sharpened. From the earlier battle to now, it had only been about 6 or 7 minutes. A fiery rune once again emerged from the center of Xiao Yan's brow as he activated the Destruction Flame physique. With the appearance of this fiery rune, his Destruction Flame physique rapidly expanded. In just a few breaths, it swelled from its original size of over 10 meters to a staggering several tens of thousands of meters. The expansion continued until it reached an immense size of 100,000 meters, matching the presence of the evil-swallowing celestial beast before finally coming to a halt. The Destruction Flame physique was born from the fusion of the Flame Emperor body and the Destruction Fire body, granting Xiao Yan a remarkable freedom of expansion and contraction. Boom! As the Destruction Flame physique grew to 100,000 meters, the intense heat radiating from it evaporated the evil energy within a radius of hundreds of thousands of miles. Xiao Yan locked his gaze on the evil-swallowing celestial beast before him, while the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor, transformed into that beast, similarly fixed his stare on Xiao Yan. Two colossal figures, each 100,000 meters tall, confronted one another high in the sky, 10,000 miles above. Since you've revealed your true form, it seems you no longer intend to prolong this battle, Xiao Yan remarked to the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor. It appears you've realized that I've been buying time, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor replied. I suspect your delay is not simply due to fear of clashing with me, Xiao Yan continued. Upon hearing Xiao Yan's words, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor fell silent in thought, then replied with a mocking grin. Since there are only 3 minutes left, I might as well tell you. What do you mean by 3 minutes left? Xiao Yan's eyes narrowed slightly. Did you really think that once we trapped you in this black box space, we wouldn't make any moves? The evil-swallowing heavenly emperor said. What do you mean? Xiao Yan's demeanor turned serious. The teleportation array outside is nearly complete. With these 5 black box spaces as the focal points, in just 10 minutes, you will be moved outside to the Great Thousand Worlds, where it will be our domain. The heavenly emperor sneered again. Hee. Can you defeat me in such a short time? If not, then killing me 3 minutes later won't matter. You're all doomed. The evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's words sent a shock through Xiao Yan's heart. He hadn't expected that the extraterritorial demons were plotting such a scheme while engaged in battle with him, and right now, the primordial sacred flame, along with Uncle Farmer and the others, probably remained in the dark. If you still believe you can defeat me in the next 3 minutes, how about this? The evil-swallowing heavenly emperor laughed coldly, and at that moment, Xiao Yan saw a flame rising from his form, a blazing fire that seemed to come from hell itself. Under its cover, the heavenly emperor's life force and soul were being irreversibly consumed at an alarming rate, while his power was restored to its peak. This was Hellfire, the 10th-ranked Hellfire on the 100 million flames ranking. To fully block Xiao Yan for the next 3 minutes, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor wagered his own life and soul. This meant he would maintain peak power for the next 10 minutes, at the cost of his eternal disappearance. However, just as the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor ignited his life force, he thought Xiao Yan would understand his helplessness. But as a magnificent battle intent surged forth in the dazzling flames, the dark sky transformed into a crimson hue, catching the heavenly emperor by surprise. He watched in astonishment as the previously grim Xiao Yan now displayed a fierce fighting spirit. After invoking the hellfire, this emperor of flames exuded an inexplicable confidence. Less than 3 minutes, huh? Gathering all his power to its utmost, Xiao Yan flipped his palm, summoning a jade vial that floated into the air. It was the grand heavenly spirit pill left to him by Dan Yu. In a sweeping motion enveloped in imperial flames, he devoured 3 of the pills in one go. Boom! As he consumed the 3 grand heavenly spirit pills, an even more magnificent and powerful spiritual energy surged within Xiao Yan, surpassing his previous peak. With this overwhelming force pouring forth, his voice resonated through the heavens and earth. 2 minutes is enough to defeat you. From the very beginning of this battle, Xiao Yan had been awaiting the emergence of a certain entity, something that ordinary people dared not approach lightly, as its appearance signified a soul's sacrificial burning. Xiao Yan's goal was the Hellfire, to challenge the legendary divine flame that was said to be impossible to refine. Though Xiao Yan had already seen the Hellfire in the hands of several rulers from the extraterritorial clan, he knew that Hellfire was a flame that grew stronger as its user grew more powerful. When a user's strength reached the supreme level, the Hellfire's intensity could rank in the top 300 of the 100 million flames ranking. When a user reached the Earth Supreme level, the Hellfire's strength could reach the top 50. However, The true power of the hellfire could only be fully realized by a super-strong expert above the heavenly supreme level. At that point, the hellfire could rank among the top 10 divine flames in the divine flame ranking. Because a heavenly supreme level expert is one with the heavens and earth, the hellfire no longer simply burns the user's soul. It burns the very life force of the world. If an Earth Supreme could restore all their power with hellfire, a Heavenly Supreme could not only restore their power but surpass their peak state. Boom! Surrounded by hellfire, the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor erupted with an extremely terrifying wave of power. A dark and ominous aura spread across the sky, covering millions of miles, and under this terrifying force, the bodies of nearly 100,000 sea beasts and bird monsters in the Black Sea below began to melt. They transformed into surging energy, rushing towards the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor. The evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor's power skyrocketed, doubling his peak strength in just 10 breaths, nearing the level of the central Heavenly Emperor. Ha ha ha! The evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor laughed madly, looking at Xiao Yan. You said you would defeat me in 2 minutes? Xiao Yan, full of fighting spirit, grinned at the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor. After swallowing 3 grand Heavenly Spirit pills, his aura expanded wildly. Although he still fell far short of the upper Heavenly Supreme level and couldn't match the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor, who was using hellfire, he was still much stronger than an ordinary lower Heavenly Supreme. Defeating you in 2 minutes? What's so difficult about that? Xiao Yan grinned, his confidence unshaken. In terms of equal strength, I indeed wouldn't dare challenge your Supreme Dharmakaya directly, but now it's different. My power is greater than yours. The evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor heard Xiao Yan's words and opened his enormous mouth. A terrifying devouring force spread throughout the world, and all the evil energy within 1,000,000 miles rushed toward him. Then show me how you plan to defeat me in 2 minutes, Xiao Yan said. Boom! As the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor finished speaking, all the evil energy within 1,000,000 miles gathered madly before his giant mouth. When the energy was compressed to its limit, it turned into a massive black beam, tens of thousands of miles long, and sped toward Xiao Yan, shattering the void. Facing the incoming black beam, Xiao Yan, in his destruction flame physique, gripped the eternal ruler, now expanded to 100,000 miles long. His gaze sharpened, and he swung the eternal ruler with all his might. Destruction eternal ruler. With Xiao Yan's command, the destructive force gathered on the eternal ruler surged like a tidal wave, clashing with the black beam. Boom! 2 terrifying forces collided, one corroding everything, the other burning everything to ash. They intertwined, collapsing a space nearly 10 million miles wide. The shockwaves tore through the Black Sea below, leaving massive rifts tens of thousands of miles long. Whoosh! Just as the energy storm of destruction ravaged the heavens and earth, a figure wrapped in destruction flames pierced through the chaos, charging toward the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor in the distance. Do you think this Emperor dares not clash head-on with you? The evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor, seeing Xiao Yan charging at him, had no intention of retreating. Instead, he surged forward with his massive body, stepping through the shattered void. The destruction flame physique and the evil-swallowing Heavenly Beast collided violently in the sky, both towering forms cloaked in flames, one in brilliant colors, the other in a deathly blue. Even without using any techniques, the sheer force of their head-on collision was enough to bring devastation to the world. The destruction flame physique and the heaven-devouring evil beast collided with such ferocity that the resulting shockwave sent both hurtling millions of miles apart. The space where they landed completely collapsed under the sheer force. Despite the direct clash, the evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor managed to hold his ground. Evidently, the power boost from his use of hellfire had made him significantly stronger. Heh, where's that arrogance of yours now? The evil-swallowing Heavenly Emperor sneered coldly as his voice echoed across the heavens and earth, his gaze locked on Xiao Yan from afar. However, after he finished speaking, he noticed that Xiao Yan's expression remained undeterred, his face still brimming with a look of spirited excitement, as if he had discovered a rare treasure. Whoosh! Xiao Yan charged forward again, unleashing a devastating punch imbued with destructive energy. Himph! The evil-swallowing heavenly emperor snorted coldly as Xiao Yan closed in. If you want another head-on collision, this emperor will gladly oblige. After all, it's the last 10 minutes of my life, but you only have 2.5 minutes left. With that, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor rushed forward again, meeting Xiao Yan head-on. Their fists and kicks collided repeatedly, each impact shattering the surrounding space. However, due to his bulky form, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's movements were slower than Xiao Yan's destruction flame physique. Over the course of dozens of exchanges, he only managed to land 2 hits on Xiao Yan, while Xiao Yan's attacks struck him over 10 times. Each of Xiao Yan's strikes carried enough destructive force to seriously injure a lower heavenly supreme. Something's wrong. After dozens of fierce clashes, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor finally realized something peculiar. Xiao Yan's attacks weren't random or chaotic. Instead, every punch and strike seemed to carve something into his body. "You bastard! What are you doing to me?" Sensing the oddity, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor struck Xiao Yan squarely in the chest. At the same time, the terrifying devouring power from his massive mouth enveloped Xiao Yan, twisting his destruction flame physique. Streams of the imperial flame were forcibly extracted from Xiao Yan's body and devoured by the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor. Feeling his imperial flame being consumed, Xiao Yan couldn't help but show a flicker of surprise. He had to admit that the devouring power of the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor was truly terrifying, likely even surpassing that of the current void-devouring flame. But by the time the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor realized what was happening, it was already too late. Xiao Yan grinned as he swung the eternal ruler, unleashing a burst of destructive energy that abruptly severed the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's devouring of the imperial flame. The blow sent the massive figure of the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor hurtling millions of miles away, though Xiao Yan himself also retreated a considerable distance. At this moment, only 1 minute remained before the teleportation array set by White Evil would activate. Haha, 1 minute left. What can you possibly do in 1 minute? The evil-swallowing heavenly emperor laughed maniacally, but Xiao Yan paid no mind to his taunts. Instead, the scene that followed made the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor feel an inexplicable sense of dread. He watched as fiery runes began to surface on the destruction flame physique, forming intricate patterns across Xiao Yan's body. These patterns seemed to trace along Xiao Yan's meridians. But what unsettled the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor most was that these patterns were identical to the ones Xiao Yan had been carving into him during their battle. As the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor stared in shock, Xiao Yan looked at him and grinned. "Earlier, you asked me what I could accomplish in 1 minute, didn't you?" Hearing Xiao Yan's words, an inexplicable sense of unease surged in the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's heart. Yet, he refused to believe that Xiao Yan could overturn the situation in the final minute. Let me see what you can do." The evil-swallowing heavenly emperor snorted coldly. His massive mouth opened once again, unleashing a terrifying devouring force that swept across hundreds of miles, pulling in all the surrounding evil energy. This attack represented his utmost effort, a strike meant to crush Xiao Yan's last shred of hope and inflict severe injuries. The evil-swallowing heavenly emperor knew his life was nearing its end, and that Xiao Yan and his companions would inevitably be transported to the extra-dimensional domain. At the moment when the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor was gathering the vast evil energy of heaven and earth, Xiao Yan, on the opposite side, was hovering mid-air, sitting cross-legged. His massive destruction flame physique, towering to a height of 1,000,000 zhong, seemed as if it were wielding the flames of billions across the world, like a flame god commanding the heavens. Under such circumstances, Xiao Yan did something that even the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor found unbelievable. Xiao Yan channeled all of his fire energy, circulating it through his body's prominent meridians. At the same time, a deep voice slowly escaped from his lips. The art of flame transformation turned the foreign into one's own. Meanwhile, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor, witnessing Xiao Yan's actions, was enraged. Xiao Yan had actually started cultivating during their battle, which was akin to disregarding his very presence. However, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor also felt a sense of curiosity. This black box space was filled with sinister, evil energy, forming an endless blackwater sea. Clearly, there was no spiritual energy or heavenly power here for Xiao Yan to cultivate with. So where exactly was Xiao Yan drawing his power from? Time was running out, with less than a minute remaining. Roar! In a fit of rage at being ignored by Xiao Yan, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor compressed the evil power within a radius of millions of miles through a devouring method. Under this force, the blackwater sea below began to churn violently. Massive waves, tens of thousands of zhang high, surged wildly, and on top of the sea, a gigantic black seal, nearly 100,000 zhang in size, began to form. The surface of the seal was smooth, like a black mirror, incredibly beautiful. Yet beneath its beauty lay a terrifying power that even the most exceptional among the lower heavenly supremes would fear. If this giant seal were to fall upon Xiao Yan, the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor was confident it would crush him directly. However, just as the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor was about to use the black seal to suppress Xiao Yan, an unusual fire burst into flames on his body. The sudden eruption of brilliant flames made the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's expression change. These flames, which were about to help him suppress Xiao Yan with the black seal, were actually the emperor flames controlled by Xiao Yan. Boom! The raging emperor flames quickly engulfed the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's entire body. Upon seeing the emperor flames burning on his body, the sense of unease that had been quietly growing in the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor suddenly exploded. He quickly glanced toward Xiao Yan, realizing these flames were clearly his doing. But how had they come to be? Were they the emperor flames he had previously devoured? However, what happened next caused the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's face to change drastically. Buzz! A black light suddenly swept out from within the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor's body. Under this black light, his aura rapidly plummeted. Within a mere dozen breaths, his strength had decreased by more than half. The speed of this decline drove the evil-swallowing heavenly emperor into a state of madness. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan, sitting cross-legged opposite him, smiled mockingly, and a voice echoed across the heavens and earth.